So Wes, we've been getting to know each other more and more. The partnership between AWS and Deepwatch and the level one MSSP competency has been really fruitful, really great for our mutual customers. There's been a question that's been coming up, both internal to AWS stakeholders and also some of those mutual customer of ours that would really like to understand. They know the benefit and value of bringing in a third-party MSSP, MDR kind of company like Deepwatch. But what happens next? How exactly do you deploy your tooling, your processes into their AWS environment?
Great question. Automated as fast as possible at a very high level. No, but seriously, it's very complex. It's very what I would call methodical. We go through a scoping exercise to really understand the customer, what they're trying to achieve, what their goals are. Part of that scoping is where we get down to what we're going to consume on an ingest level, whether that's events per second, terabytes per day. That scoping exercise allows us to pass attributes to automation. And that's going to be CloudFormation and Terraform and Ansible. We will spin up an entire customer's environment in around 15 minutes, depending on how large the environment is. And in that environment takes, the concept of what we like to call customer short name. We do full-on dedicated VPCs for every single customer. We ensure VPC isolation. We have a common services portion. It is very structured, following the AWS Control Tower best practices. So we have logging accounts, we have secure accounts, and then we have guardrails. So we have both preventative guardrails as well as detective and response guardrails inside of each of those. With the service and the accounts, once they get spun up, all of the best practice recommendations for AWS services come with that. So CloudTrail, CloudFormation, CloudWatch, Guard Duty, Security Hub, et cetera, and that's really how we cut on the initial customer environment and start allowing them to consume the benefit of the service.
And all of that in 15 minutes.
It is
that
fast.
That sounds incredible.
It is very, and it's dependent on, are they a terabyte customer or are they a 10 terabyte customer? Yeah. When you're building out specific things in there, you do have to do it in orders and clustering and everything else, but our traditional customer environment, they can be up and running in about 15 minutes.
All right, I commend you guys on that. The level of automation that you've invested into your deploying your solution and helping our mutual customers get their native tooling, the Security Hub, Guard Duty tools, plus some of the third-party tools that I know are also part of your platform, like Splunk and CrowdStrike, getting them configured to a security best practice standard, which is, that can be a bit of a challenge as well. I mean, I wonder if you have any more to kind of depth to add to that.
It all ties back to the patent, the maturity model. So once the environment is up and it's there, we get the baseline. Where are you at? And we tie that back to MITRE. Everyone loves MITRE mapping. Everyone loves NIST. Everyone loves CIS. But it's a mathematically sound. It's a number at a level. Where are you at 1 through 10? And then once we establish that initial baseline, we now have the ability to drive the conversation. The conversation turns into the journey. So, okay, here are your biggest gaps right now. We map them back to MITRE. In order to get the most coverage and help you get the best bang for the buck the next quarter, the next year, you need to cut on these services inside of AWS. As soon as you get these specific services on, we now have content, we have visibility, we have the opportunity to not only detect, but then prevent and respond inside. And it becomes a full life cycle, and it's never over, it's never done. You're never at the finish line. As we've talked previously, Amazon's really great at continually adding new features, new functionality, and every week, every quarter, there's something that you can take advantage of internally for your business, but you also have to make sure that you're tying in the cybersecurity perspective to that, and that's really all goes back to the Deepwatch maturity model.
Fantastic. And what can a mutual customer of ours expect? So once the Deepwatch tooling and the processes are in place now, right? There's a bit of that. What you just described is already done. About how soon until they start to interact with Deepwatch, the squads, and so suppose there's an actual alert that comes in that needs the attention. What happens next?
They fall into the process. So we don't really go into the onboarding versus BAU. The day the customer's environment is stood up, they have the ability to start forwarding logs immediately. As I said, we spin up customers' environments in a very rapid manner. We don't do VPNs, whether that's site-to-site, remote access. We have a very zero trust, buzzword, type of approach, but it's fast and it's easy. Customers get onboarded in a Slack, so we really are a extension of your team. You're not in a queue. You're not talking to Bob on Monday and Larry on Tuesday and Karen on Friday. Like, you have your squad, and once you get onboarded into that Slack channel, like, it's real-time collaboration. It's every day, 24 hours a day, someone is there, and as soon as those logs start coming in and we have the ability to process that and identify malicious activity, it's day one, you're on. So it's the how fast can a customer give us what we need to start providing the value, and that's typically the turnaround time is on them.
Wes, thank you for talking with me today. I couldn't be more proud of our partnership together between Deepwatch and AWS and the Level 1 MSSP competency. We truly are better together, delivering the best security capabilities, monitoring response capabilities to our mutual customers out there. So I want to thank you for spending some time with me today. And for anyone else that wants to learn more, I highly recommend you check out the AWS Marketplace listing for Deepwatch and also aws.amazon.com/MSSP.